let's do this. Let's get into challenge number 2. Challenge number 2. So Boris, you've already traded dollar yen. Nick, you already traded gold. Let's throw another commodity out there. You guys want to jump in? I would say we can include a crypto. Let's consider Bitcoin if interested. If you want to trade silver, you want to trade oil, you want to trade a futures, you want to trade a CFD. Everything here. We're using brokers, or the broker's 8cap. We're trading out a TradingView platform. Easy fills. You can see it on the screen. Challenge number 2, 3, 2, 1. What's it? Come on.
What was that?
That was our intro for trading.
Fancy. I like it.
I hit something and I thought I broke the platform. Okay.
No, we are good. So commodity, you guys are on tap. Whatever you guys want to trade, shout it out. Let's share the screens. Let's get some trades in. What do you like?
I'm thinking, I was looking at oil. I already picked gold. Do I just kind of skimp out and chase silver here? I don't know. So come back to me. Boris, do you have a more obvious pick than I do? I already picked gold. I should have picked something else for my first one.
I'm scalping. I guess if you're looking, you guys want to look at my screen, I can explain to you a little bit, my scalp the indicator. So this is scalp indicator we use every single day. I don't really scalp gold with it. I scalp equities with it. But you might find it very interesting. This is a 1 minute chart, right? I'm just going to explain it to you because I think you guys will find interesting the whole methodology here. So what it does is these little green.
You guys switch the screen to Boris's screen. Sorry, I just wanted to so we can see what you're saying, Boris. We got you.
Let's go. Where's my director? Let's go. Okay, we see my screen. Okay, very good. All right, let's talk about this. So 1 minute chart, 8-period simple moving average. My life is very simple. If you're sort of on the right side of the 8-period simple moving average, you're pretty much on the right side of the trade, I think. And so this is basically kind of an interesting idea. Now, this is purely scalping. I haven't tried it on any longer term time ranges, so I don't really know. But the idea is if you're stretched away from the moving average, and in this particular case, this is normalized to 7 basis points from the underlying. So it's like 7 basis points is 0.7%. So it's just a small stretch away, but it's basically a large move in a very short period of time, right? The idea is that you're going to have mean reversion, that the price naturally is going to swim back to the moving average, and then cross over it. Now, the one thing that we do, which is I think you might find interesting, but as a matter of fact, I have a signal coming up right now, is that we do not do single trade entry. In other words, if we get stopped out, you see this is a stop out target. This is a 20-point target, 20-point stop, right? So I'm long here at gold. This is $2 target, 200 ticks, $2 target, right? So I'm long. I get stopped out. The algo waits very patiently for another setup. Second entry, boom, I get done. Now this is a new setup. Price gets stretched away from moving average, comes back to the moving average back above. I buy it, done. Price comes back from moving average. I buy it, done. Here's another trade. Now, right now, buying, basically scalping gold to the long side is like taking candy from a baby. It's literally like 3 consecutive winning trades. This one may be the 4th trade, right? We're in at 83. The target is going to be like 85. We'll see if it hits it, and you see how it goes. And the same principle goes to the other side. You can do the short side. Now, we never do the short side. I certainly never do the short side in gold because I'm basically a bull on gold. But it works on the short side too, the opposite. As long as you're stretched away from moving average, come back to the moving average, take the trade. Get stopped out, wait for the next setup, get done. Get stopped out, wait for the next setup, get done. It's really, really simple, but incredibly effective. Do this all day, every day in my room, and that's how we make our money. So we're basically, just to get you an idea, I'm not in this trade, but my algo is 83.85, 85.85 gets me done for yet another winning trade on the scalp side. So for those of you who are degenerate traders like everybody in my room, this is a really, really fun way of trading because it keeps you engaged all day long. We do 10, 12 trades like this, and I'm actually going to be doing a webinar tonight, kind of discussing all of these strategies in full detail. You guys are welcome to come join me. It's a free webinar. And my thought behind why I day trade is precisely because I have minimal risk. The idea is we have no overnight risk. We have no market regime risk. We have no risk. I am basically just chirping away like a pigeon eats food. If you ever seen a pigeon in the city, you can never kill a pigeon, right? They're always, they'll chirp a little bit of food and they'll fly away the moment there is any kind of danger. And that's me. I collect profits like a pigeon does. You'll never kill me that way. That's sort of my idea.
Fair enough, Pigeon Boris. I took a trade too. I went with Bitcoin because you said I could trade crypto.
Oh, so. Yes. You never even looked at Biddy.
Hey, it's a high risk, high reward kind of asset in general. I went for it because the sentiment here today. Look at the Nasdaq. Look at the S&P. You've had the Bitcoin market pull back. Am I a long-term believer in Bitcoin? No, but I've talked about this many times that I kind of use it as a trading vehicle. I think it's a good risk-on, risk-off tool, just like the S&P 500 is. Although it's been trading a lot with gold here recently, just as a possible alternative to the dollar, which is a weird one. But there's been a rising case for that for third world countries, for people who are a little bit concerned about the dollar, the debt bomb that could potentially go off at any moment, that sort of stuff. Bitcoin's had a little bit of popularity, I think, not just because of the risk-off sentiment or risk-on sentiment, but also because of other things as well. I think Bitcoin could run. It's pulled back to the support level. I picked it up long on the daily chart here. Stops below this swing low here intraday. Thought that was interesting. And again, with Nasdaq up 1% here on the day, it's touching up against the resistance here that we have around 18,300. Let's call it. S&P's having a wonderful day here, breaking through the highs, and gold is making a really nice move here. So I like Bitcoin. We'll see where it takes me.
So it's funny. While he was talking, I faded him and I shorted Bitcoin. So let's see who's right.
Did you? All right. I love it.
I went off the 65s. I'm like, it looks a little overbought. It looks pretty weak. Bitcoin had a huge crash yesterday, and I still think it's stumbling a little bit, like a drunken sailor. So I'm willing to punch the guy when he's down.
Boris, I'm just curious. While you're on the topic, do you think Bitcoin long term is a thing, or do you not have an opinion long term like me?
Well, define long term. First off,
5 years. 5 years from now, is Bitcoin up in the $500,000 a coin? And do all the vendors all over the internet use Bitcoin, or no?
No, nobody ever uses Bitcoin for anything. Let's just start with that.
But it goes up, and I make a lot of money.
Can Bitcoin be 500,000 5 years from now? Yes. Can it be 0 5 years from now? Yes.
Okay.
It's got the same value as a pet rock.
So you're not a believer.
Well, believer
Jamie
in
Dimon.
what? Believer in what? What is there is no use case for Bitcoin. Bitcoin is just a really bad database that's incredibly energy inefficient. So if you want a distributed spreadsheet across the world where everybody spends huge amount of computer cycles creating nothing, yeah, it's great. But it has zero use case, except for the fact that everybody contextually accepts it as a portable store of value, right? So as long as Bitcoin is worth something, it'll be worth something. But it has no intrinsic worth. It's no intrinsic worth. There's my favorite one of my favorite YouTube videos was this one guy who did a parody of Bitcoin. And one of the things that happens is we have a sun flare, and everybody's digital data gets erased, and his Bitcoin goes from 100,000 to nothing. And that's pretty much, I think, is the story of Bitcoin. So yeah, I mean, I'm not a maximalist or minimalist. I am just a amused observer. And I think at this point we've stopped seeing any argument for Bitcoin. In other words, before it used to be, it's going to solve the world. It's going to be this. Everybody's going to put everything on chain. The rally now is we're just buying it because its number goes up. Number goes up. We're buying it.
Yep.
I actually posted, what's a bigger bubble, Nvidia or Bitcoin? I haven't. I got to check that poll. But so far, I think Bitcoin was running ahead. As far as
I would agree with that. I think Nvidia. I'd rather if you ask me, you got to put 10 grand in one or the other. Nvidia for me, because it has earnings. The price earnings not that ridiculous as long as the earnings come in as expected. But Bitcoin, I have no idea what I'm putting my money in.
But here's the thing. The irony of the whole thing is if you put 10,000 Bitcoin, 10,000 into Nvidia on what is common sense, intelligent, trading basis, it's almost certain that Bitcoin will double and Nvidia will probably stay flat. It just because of the way the markets are working. Because right now, Bitcoin is moving on flow, and flow. So far, you get ETF flow. ETF flow is far in excess of production flow, and that's basically it. It's an artificial shortage, right? Because computer cycles to produce this are very expensive. ETF, paper shares are really easy to get to, so that's what's going on. But yeah, that's my view on Bitcoin. I don't hate it, I don't love it, but I've just decided I'm never gonna, it's not gonna be part of my portfolio. Probably to my detriment, but it is what it is.
I'm gonna say this. So interesting. So I'd say we can have the same conversation, and you can just replace the word Bitcoin with gold. And I'll say this: don't be upset. I think the people that are long gold to be anti the dollar or long gold for store value are the same people, maybe a little bit more sophisticated, a little bit more traditional than everyone that's getting into long Bitcoin. I think as a trader, this is how I've been in Bitcoin since 2016. Trader runs. We had that big, once they created a futures market in 2019, 2018, 2019. I got pullbacks. And so my cost basis for Bitcoin for me personally is around 15 grand. That's what I started participating around 4. Participated this year at 17.5 and 20 and 30. So as a trader, I would like to see where it goes this year. I'm long. I have some, Boris, we talked about this offline. I have some longer term like diagonal spreads that I'm trading on BITO, which does not own Bitcoin, but it is a spot correlation to the actual price. I do have IBIT as well. I bought some shares today for the same reason. It's like, as a trader, I'll participate in Bitcoin. As a bag holder, I don't want to be that person. When I'm up 5x, when I'm up 10x, I'm going to take some profit. And I think that is good for the portfolio. But it's interesting. You've got a Michael Saylor. You've got, I just listened to this podcast the other day with something on gold's inflation, Silvercrest metals. They basically it's kind of in the miners arena, but they have silver and gold and precious metals on their balance sheet. And basically that's the inflation hedge against current inflation with the dollar and the the lack of purchasing power that the dollar continues to go through. So anyway, that's another subject.